right, I'm actually not going to write any of the answers on this one. If you need help with this, you need to be listening to it. So I'm going to say some of the answers, but not write them down for those who are trying to not listen. Okay, so we know that X is the independent and Y is the dependent. We always know that, right? So independent is X, and Y is dependent. But we don't always use X and Y. So the one that's in the function, in the equation, is going to be your independent. That's going to be the input, the one that we put into the equation. Put a value in there, and we get this out. That's the output, or the dependent. All those are the same. So in this one, the one that's in the equation, the W, is the input, and it is independent. And the one that's by itself is the output, and it depends on the input. So the Z is the dependent. Same thing on this one. These are Greek letters, alpha and beta. We use Greek letters, especially in science sometimes, to be variables. So this is beta. The one that's inside the equation is independent. The one that's outside or solved for is the dependent one. So that would be alpha. All right, on the graphs, again, we know that X is independent, Y is dependent, but we don't always use X and Y. This is R and S, but still the one that is on the x-axis, on the horizontal axis, is the independent, and the one that's on the vertical axis, on the y-axis, is the dependent. So independent would be R, and dependent would be S. All right, so it says here, in each of the following sentences, underline the independent variable and circle the dependent variable. Now, the distance you travel at 70 miles an hour is a function of how long you drive. So the biggest trick with these is, which one comes first? Do you drive, or do you end up the distance first? So what causes which? The driving causes the distance, or the distance causes the drive? All right, so the one that comes first, the one that causes things, is the independent. So the driving, or how long I drive, is the independent, and the dependent is the distance you travel. All right, so the more hours I work, the more money I make. So which one comes first? Do you work first, or do you make the money first? Does the working cause the money? Yes. So you work first, so that's independent, and then the amount of money you make depends on how much you work. So that's the dependent. So make up at least one statement of a dependent relationship. So this is mine. You can't use this one. You have to do your own. Your grade depends on your effort. So another way I could write that same one is more effort causes better grades. There's other ways I can write it too. So what is my independent variable? What happens first? The effort or the grade? Does the effort cause the grade, or does the grade cause the effort? The effort comes first. So the effort is the independent, and the dependent is what happens second. So that's the grade. You have to come up with your own example. You can't use that one.